right now at 4, a 3-year ongoing dispute with Colorado sports fans caught in the middle.
Colorado has some awesome fans for all our sports, and not being able to get two of the major ones that are just now starting, it bites.
And that has put Altitude Sports on the offensive.
They want to watch their teams at home on their TV, and they haven't been able to do it for nearly 1,500 days.
Small businesses have been through a lot over the last 2 years, and now inflation is hitting them hard. What they say it will take to survive and the role that we can all play in making it happen. And as recovery continues from Hurricane Ian, we're looking at how forecasting these storms has improved and where the science still lags behind.
Plus, a Colorado musician has his car stolen and his livelihood along with it.
Since that's happened, it's put a standstill on how I can make my money and how I just go about living my life.
Now he hopes you can help him get back to doing what he loves.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Micah Smith. For the past 3 years, Colorado sports fans who are Comcast subscribers have had no way of watching our beloved Avs or Nuggets. It's all because of an ongoing dispute between Comcast and Altitude Sports. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live at 4 from Ball Arena. Christian, Altitude Sports says they made an offer to Comcast but haven't heard back.
Yeah, Micah, they held a press conference this morning saying that it's been 73 days since they've made that offer to Comcast and they still haven't heard anything back. They've also launched a campaign where they've been collecting signatures to try to put the pressure on Comcast. So far, they have collected around 50,000 signatures. It is called "Why Did Comcast Dump the Fans?" They're claiming that the offer they made is the same pricing, terms, and distribution model Comcast has provided to AT&T Sportsnet Rocky Mountain, which is where you watch the Rockies games. Now, Altitude also saying Comcast has said that there are few subscribers who have even wanted to watch the local teams.
Our main message today was to speak to our fans. We hear our fans. We know they're incredibly frustrated, especially our fans who are Comcast subscribers. They want Altitude back on the air. They want to watch their teams. And so we just wanted to remind our fans that we hear them.
It bites, especially being hometown fans. Colorado has some awesome fans for all our sports, and not being able to get two of the major ones that are just now starting, it bites.
And after emailing and calling Comcast all morning long, we did eventually hear back from them. They gave us a statement that said in part that their goal is simple. They want to make the games available to fans who want to watch them without making everyone else pay for it. They say Altitude's position requires nearly every Comcast customer in Denver to pay a fee increase, and they want to distribute Altitude's content in a way that avoids raising rates for virtually all of their customers. So still no resolution, and we don't know how long it will take to reach an agreement, but we did speak to a sports management professor at MSU Denver who is weighing in on this dispute and how long it could possibly take, as well as what some of those long-term impacts could be, and we will have that on Denver 7 News at 6 tonight. We're live in Denver this evening. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing more on this, Christian, because it's a very frustrating situation. Altitude Sports has reached a deal with Fubo TV, which is a streaming platform, but it's not a free service. It'll cost you about $70 a month for Fubo. The Avs take the ice tomorrow at Ball Arena against the Chicago Blackhawks. The team will unveil a third Stanley Cup banner before the game. The Nuggets kick off their regular season on October 19th. Now, our Denver 7 morning crew had the chance to check out the Stanley Cup when it stopped by our studios this morning. We also have our first look at the Avs championship rings. Each ring covered in 669 diamonds, 20 sapphires, and 42 rubies, weighing 18.5 carats. It has the player's name, jersey number, the Avs logo, the Stanley Cup, and the Denver skyline.
The newsfeed starts with a dim outlook for the world economy. Today, the International Monetary Fund is downgrading its forecast for the global economy next year. Points to the war in Ukraine and inflation as reasons why. Today, the Supreme Court rejected the appeal of the shooter responsible for the death of 9 people at a black church in South Carolina in 2015. Dylan Roof asked the court to decide how to handle disputes between defendants and attorneys over mental illness-related evidence. Roof is sentenced to death. The Supreme Court heard arguments today over a California law that could raise the price of pork for all of us. California voters passed a law that required pork sold in the state to come from pigs whose moms were given a certain amount of space. pork producers are suing. Well, October is peak sports, right? Yeah, baseball, hockey, football, soccer, and basketball all in season or preseason. And that can mean more work for law enforcement, as fun as it is as fans. Now, you look at some of these images, you might remember this. This was when the San Francisco Giants won the World Series and their fans took the celebration in 2014 a little too far. Police cars were damaged, fires were set, dozens of people were arrested. But experts say those incidents could be an outlier. Recent study of NHL playoff games found little impact to overall crime rates.
There are no significant differences in crime when playoff games are played at home relative to when they're played away. But disorder crimes and property crimes actually increase during home games relative to away games.
Yeah, this is an interesting study. That small increase in crime has led to big investments from some cities. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, for example, reportedly pays $500,000 for police at University of Alabama football games, and Washington, D.C. spent almost $100,000 a day for extra police during a recent Nationals playoff run. Experts say could be an overreaction.
There's only one additional disorder and one additional property crime. Maybe the most obvious policy would be to increase police presence when home games are played. But again, they have to consider kind of the costs and benefits relative to just two additional crimes.
Now, staying on the sports front, the NFL is expected to discuss the increase in roughing the passer penalties since Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's concussion. Now, sources tell the Associated Press this week, this is going to come up, next week when NFL owners meet. Now, we saw it again. Boy, if you watched that game last night, the Chiefs comeback win, but a couple plays that had some people frustrated. The league says it has not told referees to emphasize the calls. Interesting point here. Overall, roughing the passer penalties are down 45% from this point last year. Some teams want video review of the calls brought back, but a rule change is said to be unlikely. A growing number of small businesses are worried how they're going to survive with inflation.
The problem is that small businesses depend on their suppliers, and their suppliers are increasing their prices along with inflation.
The help they say they need from all of us to weather this.
All right, now it's time to talk about the Broncos. They took the field again today at the UC Health Training Center. They're off to a 2-3 start, something no one hoped would happen. Of course, there is a lot to be frustrated with for Broncos country. Coach Nate Hackett is looking to the bright side, though.
It's a beautiful day. I'm here with everybody here, and there's a lot of improvement to be done. Russell's a competitor, and he knows that we're not where we want to be, and I know that he wants to do everything in his power to get this offense, this team, to where we all want to be.
Right now, quarterback Russell Wilson is struggling with a right shoulder injury. Broncos insider Troy Rank says he should be healthy for their next game against the LA Chargers. You can read Troy's full analysis on Denver7.com. The Broncos visit LA to take on the Chargers in Monday Night Football. It's their fourth primetime game in 6 weeks. You can watch the game right here on Denver 7. Coverage starts at 5. Kickoff is just after 6, and stick around for post-game coverage. Colorado's Geographic Naming Advisory Board meets tonight at 6 to start the process of changing the name of Mount Evans. Now, one thing to note, nothing is set in stone and nothing will be decided tonight. The name change is up for debate because Mount Evans is named after Territorial Governor John Evans. He authorized the Sand Creek Massacre, which killed hundreds of Cheyenne and Arapaho men, women, and children. One of the names Mount Evans could be changed to is Mount Blue Sky. The Arapaho were known as the Blue Sky People, and the Cheyenne have a ceremony each year called Blue Sky. NASA is prepared for the day when an asteroid may be coming for Earth. After the break, we have details on their successful mission to alter the path of an asteroid.